one day waking up in a world where there are wars and armed conflicts, pandemics, hunger, water shortages, human trafficking and slavery, and the worst of all, growing climate catastrophes destroying everything. Well, today we wake up in such a world every single day, and we are used to it. It has become our normal state of things, but it's not. The whole world has to wake up before it's too late. This wake-up call was the International Forum Global Crisis, We Are People, We Want to Live, that ran across the whole world, the whole globe in May. And the live broadcast was streamed on thousands of platforms and 100 languages. It was organized by volunteers from 180 countries because we can change this daily way we live today as a society, and we can find the way out only together. And our tool today is the information, the danger and global threats we are in as an entire civilization, and the information about the solutions that will work in the new format of society, create a society.
Yes, greetings. And indeed, the forum resonates with millions of people. And as a result, they join the project Creative Society and our daily internet. And today with us, T Mulenga, who is a social media manager, climate change activist, inspirational speaker, author. Nathan worked with a number of NGOs and globally, and also one of the interpreters to Bemba. Hi, Nathan, and welcome to the international discussion. Also
Hello.
With us today is Moeketsi Fokojoe, who is a classic bodybuilder and a personal trainer, and also one of the interpreters to Sisulu language. Hi, Moeketsi, welcome.
Welcome, friends, and thank you for joining us today. So, Nathan, would you like please to share what you learned during the International Forum and about also your experience, about your participation?
I learned quite a lot of things, and one of them, like you've just from sharing, I learned that in the world which seems like there are things that goes that goes on behind the scenes, and quite a number of people have been pretending for so long that they are helping individuals, hence they are not. And we've seen that there are so many young girls who are being trafficked day and night. People pretending to come and help individuals, hence they are stealing human beings and they're not even helping them. And another enemy that we have, which is climate change, because of our inhuman, because we do not take care of our earth, and even if we have in our minds to say someday we may go to planet Mars, I think years and years for us to get there. But otherwise, we've failed to take care of our planet, which was asked by God, and we failed to take care of our fellow human beings. And the other thing that I learned that day is that quite a number of ideas on how we want to shape the world, but because there are individuals who run our states, I may not mention their names, but because they're just selfish, they have money, they want to control everything, and they want how people should live, which is not good. And they come in the name of trying to help one another, but in the end, the results are just catastrophes. So these things are happening, and they'll keep on happening if we don't act, because it calls for, like, this thing calls for everyone to be involved. It's the total citizens involvement. or should I say total member involvement. It has to involve everyone. It's not just one man standing or one man protesting or one man trying to change the world. It has to involve everyone from one state to another. We're about 180 something states, 180 countries in the world. So which means if all of us were to come together, we can do one great thing, because we all want to live and we all want to survive. If we don't do this, then none is going to live and we're all going to extinct. Moreover, there are diseases that people died from the pandemic, and we don't know how it came about. Maybe it's because we're not taking care of our planet, or maybe because we did. But if we can come together as one and try to eliminate me, we'll do one great thing, and the future generation is going to be proud of us. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're absolutely right. We are damaging our psyche, yet we are not studying the main cause of climate change, which was described in the forum and spoke about in the forum, which is the cyclicality of 12,000 years. And that is a huge problem today, because this is our common enemy. The climate is going to take all of us. And it is important for us to unite today so that our future generations will be proud of us, and so that we have. Thank you so much. And then also, Moeketsi, could you please share your understandings after watching the forum, and what information touched you the most?
Oh, thank you. I quite learned a lot from. Really, it's surprising the info that came out there. It's very information. Not only that, but I was impressed by a particular speech from Leslie, opening speech from Leslie. It really gave you a clear view of what could be, what human can influence. We are in a position that we cannot influence, which is the climate. Leslie's speech contained all the picture that is really needed for the world to know about what we humans are capable of. We are incapable of in terms of climate, and in terms of we as people, factors that we are doing ourselves that are destroying our own world. So yeah, that was just it. Thank you.
Yes, indeed. And what I also remember from the opening speech by Leslie, that we have so many crimes in our society that by our hands or by our inaction, by our supporting this format, so that we basically, by changing the format, can deal with it. So we can change it. It's in our hands. But we have just a bigger problem that we cannot negotiate with, and this is climate. So you cannot stop it by paying taxes. You cannot stop it by just going on the streets, because it needs really other solutions. And thank you very much for pointing out these topics. I would like to stress one particular, what we hear today, with talking with many people. They hope that some organizations or political leaders would change the situation. And I saw just recently the tweet by UNHCR, which is saying, it's a quote, a milestone we hoped would never have to mark. 100 million people have now fled their homes. But my question is, but what did the UN and other international organizations who meant to protect human rights actually really do to eliminate such atrocities of the consumerist format of society, like human trafficking, slavery, exploitation of refugees, and many, many other? So why will still, aid never work? I mean, why this aid will never work in the society that we have today? So let us watch a video abstract from the forum on this topic.
لا مزيد من الفقر، لا مزيد من الجوع، ولا مزيد من الحروب. سنعيش كلنا بشكل جيد. في الواقع هناك أزيد من 100 منظمة دولية تم إنشاؤها لحل مشاكل العالم تحت رعاية الأمم المتحدة، فلكل مشكلة جديدة يتم إنشاء منظمة جديدة. كل عام تدفع الدول الأعضاء في الأمم المتحدة مساهمات ضخمة لهذه المنظمات. في الواقع هذا المال من جيوبنا، إنها الضرائب التي ندفعها للدولة. بين عامي 2010 و2020 وفقا للبيانات الرسمية جمعت 44 منظمة من الأمم المتحدة وحدها 540 مليار دولار. زادت مساهمات منظمات الأمم المتحدة بنسبة 58% على مدى 10 سنوات، ولكن دعونا نلقي نظرة على ما حققناه خلال هذه الفترة الزمنية. أكبر مبلغ من المال اليوم يذهب لحل مشكلة الجوع. منظمات الأمم المتحدة الرئيسية لمعالجة هذه المشكلة هي برنامج الغذاء العالمي ومنظمة الأغذية والزراعة. لقد جمعوا 79.8 مليار دولار على مدى السنوات العشر الماضية. تشير التقديرات الحالية إلى أن ما يقرب من 690 مليون شخص في العالم يعانون من الجوع، وأن 750 مليون شخص يعانون من انعدام شديد في الأمن الغذائي. تتنبأ منظمة الأغذية والزراعة نفسها بزيادة أكبر في الجوع بحلول 2030 841 مليون شخص. لذا فإن برنامج الغذاء العالمي يعرض احتياجات التمويل عام 2022 بالفعل عند 13.9 مليار دولار. لذلك يقولون أنه سيكون هناك المزيد من الأشخاص الجائعين، لذلك يحتاجون إلى المزيد من المال. إنه سؤال مشروع: كيف يمكن أن تتفاقم المشكلة نفسها مع التمويل المتزايد باستمرار؟ دعونا نلقي نظرة على مشكلة أخرى، مشكلة اللاجئين. تضاعف عدد اللاجئين على مدار السنوات العشر الماضية 42.4 مليون في عام 2020. تعاملت مفوضية الأمم المتحدة السامية للاجئين مع قضايا اللاجئين على مدار السنوات العشر الماضية. زاد تمويل المنظمة بنسبة 56%، حيث بلغ 4.8 مليار دولار في عام 2020. دعونا نلقي نظرة على نوع المساعدة التي يقدمونها للناس. مجال واحد من المساعدة للاجئين هو المأوى. على موقع الويب الخاص بهم يذكرون: الجزء الرئيسي من مهمة الحماية لدينا هو ضمان الوصول إلى المأوى المناسب في حالات الطوارئ الإنسانية. نحن نقدم الخيام ونوزع الأغطية البلاستيكية، ونطور الاستراتيجيات والأدوات، ونقوم بالتوجيه في حالات الطوارئ، ونقدم المساعدة الطارئة لأولئك الذين يحتاجونها أكثر. في الأيام الباردة أو الأيام الحارة يمكن أن تكون مساعدتنا هي العامل الحاسم بين الحياة والموت. في حالة الطوارئ تعد خيام القماش المشمع مقياسا مناسبا على المدى القصير، لكن الناس يعيشون في معسكرات الخيام هذه السنوات في الظروف اللا إنسانية، مع عدم وجود أمل في المستقبل. بسبب عدم وجود ظروف الصرف الصحي الأساسية يموت الناس بسبب الأمراض المعدية. من المستفيد من عدم حل المشكلة؟ طالما أن هناك مشكلة هناك تمويل، وإذا تم حل المشكلة فلن يكون هناك تمويل، وبالتالي لن يكون هناك منظمات. طالما أن هناك مصلحة مالية، طالما أن هناك شخصا ما يكسب المال منها، فلن يتمكن أحد من حل المشكلة. الأمم المتحدة نفسها تشبه إلى حد كبير شركة عبر الوطنية في هيكلها. هنالك شركة أولية تنسق وتدير أنشطة شركاتها الأخرى، لكن كل علامة تجارية هي كيان عمل منفصل. في عام 2020 تم إنفاق أكثر من 3.7 مليار دولار للحفاظ على بيروقراطية الأمم المتحدة، على رواتب الموظفين والمدراء والتأمين الصحي والإجازات والحالات الدرجة الأولى وغيرها من النفقات. النفقات المخطط لها لتجديد قصر الأمم وحدها في سويسرا، أين يقع مقر الأمم المتحدة، هو 871 مليون دولار. بكل هذه الأموال يمكن بناء 174 ألف منزل باستخدام تقنية الطباعة ثلاثية الأبعاد. كم عدد عائلات اللاجئين يمكن أن تستفيد من هذا السكن؟ لكن للأسف فإن بناء المنازل لأولئك المحتاجين ليس أولوية لمساعدتهم. ماذا لدينا في النهاية؟ العديد من المنظمات التي عاهدنا بها بمسؤولية حل المشاكل الإنسانية الخطيرة عند الفحص الدقيق لتكون مجرد هياكل تجارية. يصبح من الواضح أن هناك اهتماما مباشرا بالنمو وتفاقم المشاكل. بمعنى آخر، ما المفيد بأن الأشخاص تتطور جوعا وتكافح من أجل البقاء وتجعل الحروب مع بعضهم البعض. وهذا هو السخرية من الشكل المستهلك للمجتمع. يعد إنشاء وهم حل مشكلة ما دون الهدف الحقيقي المتمثل في القضاء عليها هو مبدأ من مبادئ الشكل الاستهلاكي. في ظل هذه الظروف يكون التخدير بسبب مرض قاتل وحتى إغلاق أو إصلاح بعض المنظمات أو إطلاق النار على بعض الأفراد لن ينقذ الموقف، لأن المنظمات الجديدة ستأتي في مكانها وتفعل نفس الشيء وتجني الأموال من حياتنا اليوم. بسبب دعمنا الضمني للتنسيق الاستهلاكي نحن جميعا على حافة الهاوية. إن التصعيد السريع لجميع الأزمات سيضعنا جميعا بدون استثناء على شفا كارثة. ما نوع المساعدة التي سنحصل عليها؟ قطعة من القماش المشمع للمأوى و2 من زجاجات المياه.
In Switzerland, where the UN headquarters is located, is $800. With this money, 174,000 houses could be built using 3D printing technology. How many refugee families could benefit from this housing? But alas, building homes for those in need is not a priority for their aid. What do we have in the end? Numerous organizations that we have entrusted with the responsibility of solving serious problems of humanity turn out, on closer examination, to be merely business structures. It becomes obvious that there is a direct interest in the growth and aggravation of problems. In other words, it is beneficial for someone that people starve, struggle to survive, and make wars with each other. And that is the cynicism of the consumerist format of society. The illusion of solving a problem without the real goal of eradicating it is a principle of the consumerist format. Under such conditions, it is tantamount to anesthesia for a fatal illness. And even closing or reforming some organizations or firing some individuals will not save the situation, because new ones will come in their place and making money off our lives. Today, because of our tacit support of the consumerist format, we are all on the precipice. The regulation of all crises will soon bring us all, without exception, to the brink of disaster. What kind of help will we get? A piece of tarpaulin for shelter and a couple of bottles of water?
You know, today we see a lot of major crises worldwide. And I would have to say that the main reason how we got into this is because we were taught to shift our responsibility onto the leaders of countries, on some certain organizations, and in hope that they will solve our problems for us. But what we see today is that those leaders are only solving their own problems. And unfortunately, not our problems. And that is because we live in this consumerist format of society. That is the way it is. And don't you think it is time to unite and peacefully begin resolving our problems so we can build a... I honestly think it's time today. All these crises worldwide, they need to end, because it's not going to bring us anything good except sorrow and death as we see today. Nathan, maybe you can share, in your opinion, after watching the forum and seeing what is happening in your city, after learning about the project Creatives and so forth, and knowing all the crises that we are facing today, what can be done to solve all the problems? Can you please share just your personal understanding?
I think one wise man once told me that if you can't beat the system, you have to join the system. I think that would be the best and the best solution for us to do, because I'm saying that we've been waiting for this opportunity for so long. And it's more like there's been cartels of individuals who have been curtailing these organizations. And I do understand of being someone or a lawyer in the making. I do understand the law from the onset, like from my state, and also I do understand human rights. I know that states have to pay cutters to one another and have to give respect to one another. They don't have to interfere into another state's business. I do understand that human rights are inherent, like we were born with them and no one can take away from us. But there's only one problem, and the problem is this: there is no enforcement mechanisms. There's none. In short, there's none. So if there were a body like UN, which was to make laws which are enforceable to protect the interest of the people, the first interest has to be people, then that thing was going to work. And this is why I'm seeing heading towards to. Because I'm saying that people will be free to view, to give out their views, and people will be free to express whatever it is they're feeling. Because for UN, yes, they come up with recommendations, but they will just talk. There's no way to enforce them and tell them that they become a reality. People will just go there, will talk. Presidents will go there. President will come in. President will go. And nothing can change, and nothing will ever change. I was just watching the other day on Facebook that in the US there was a massive killing or shooting at a certain school. This is in the administration of President, and I understand Joe Biden doesn't support that, but even in his administration, such things are happening, which means there's need to change certain things to help people. People are frustrated. People just work day and night to rest. So there's need for us to come up with mechanisms and to find means on how we can help one another. Yes, we understand these organizations are there to help people. To what extent are they going to help us? And for how long are they going to be there? Because we don't know for how long these organizations will keep on running, and we don't know their agenda yet. Yes, they may be there to promote peace and dignity, but what's the main agenda? What are they intending to achieve? I'm not trying to attack any individual or to attack any organization, but I'm just talking from my personal view. It will be better if these organizations were to be established to put humans first. Now it's like they've put organizations first and they've put humans later. Like it doesn't even suit in any way. So these organizations, if they were to, and for instance, the initiative for creative society, which was just started by people, this initiative is to be supported by governments, but you find that very few people engage themselves in such initiatives, and they do not even want to share because they know that definitely their interests won't be granted and won't be given, because they know that they know their dark secrets, and they won't even be able to make profit. So it's quite interesting to get involved in such initiatives such as creative society, and looking at how these organizations have, and people are still suffering. And I wonder where someone can get huge money to support people who are going into the war, and like people who do not have food. Food security is still an issue in Africa, of the world. But you find that these people don't even care how much money they raise and how much money they want to give individuals who are suffering. We still have wars in Africa, and yet we still have these organizations. What are they? We understand they don't have to interfere into another state's business, but what are they really doing? What is their objective? What is their main objective? If at all they were established to make sure peace, where is peace? Because we are scared. We don't even know what the future holds. If we keep on having such things, if such things will keep on happening, then there's no future, there's no hope. On the other hand, climate change is also like it keeps on changing day and night. Here in Zambia, we used to like experience rainfall to somewhere here in July, but it has stopped. Rains normally stop in May and sometimes in February because of climate change and the activities that they. So it's quite important, and this has to go to each one of us to contemplate upon these things, to say, where are we going to live if our planet? The biggest problem is that we have failed to put humans first, put organizations and our interests first. We want to make profit. They are being curtailed by individuals whom we don't even know. We don't know what their agenda is, and we don't know. You know, I'm just been repeating the same things, but because I'm trying to make sure that I air out my views and I make sure that people get the gist of what I'm trying to communicate. It's very important for us to work together and to support this movement and to make sure that we form one big, everyone will be happy by the end of the day.
Absolutely. You brought up so many good points. That is exactly how it is. You're absolutely correct. We need to make sure that human life is of the highest value. We need to make sure that all people, like it says, like you said, are born rights, and that those people, every single individual has those rights. Right now, we see that it is not happening. And again, we also see that there's so many organizations that have all these problems that are fighting with all these problems of poverty and hunger and refugees and so on and so forth, and spending billions or trillions of money on all these problems. But on the contrary, when we look outside the window, everything is getting worse and worse and worse. And we're just seeing, you know, they're saying that hunger is going to get worse. Inflation is going to get worse. Climate is going to get worse. But where is our solution? Knowing us with a basic solution to what to do. And Creative Society, you know, project for all the people that was created by the people, for the people, is the only solution today to truly get our humanity out of this crisis, so we can all start living like human beings, like the right that we have. And it's just so great that this project is out there. We just need to spread the word. And Moeketsi, I know I can see that you're back. Maybe you can add as well to the prior question that we asked, opinion to solve all the problems.
For all the things, the measures that fight the climate change, nor the food security, it's obvious none of them have really worked into. Actually, only have that solution. Creative Society is the only solution to all the problems. You know, it covers everything in a way that validates each human's life. So I can't find any other idea when it comes to. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much also for being the part of the solution, friends, because are the ones who also spreading this information. So because many people across the world, like 99% of all of us, society, where indeed, as Nathan, you said, where there will be the mechanisms of implementing the foundations of a creative society, the human rights. They will not declare them, will guarantee them. And as you said, this is the only way, but people need to know that there is the way out. And for joining the project, also spreading the whole, find out that they're not alone. And you, as a part of interpreters team, international team, it is really big step in informing people And as you also mentioned before, the climate change, yes, this is today one of the topics that is being hyped on. I mean, this is a really good trend to show how planet, but indeed, we see the fruits of what is being done for the climate and for people. So, and this is very loud topic that we hear where, but nothing is being done to stop the disasters. And today we are not studying the real cause of climate change, which is the cyclicity of 12,000 years. And we are solving a problem that doesn't exist. And someone is getting rich, but we, like the people, are dying in these climate disasters. And the time is not on our side. And we need really to hurry up in informing people. A lot of facts, a lot of really important information was presented on the forum on 7th of May. And I would like to ask you, Franz, also, what role do you think the information, the access to the information, so to the truthful information about the real. So Nathan, maybe you could share your thoughts on it.
I think that the best way could be, it's just that I don't know how this can work to the best interest of everyone, because creative society has tried by all means to bring this to the table and to make sure that everyone gets the information, because it's not possible to bring people together, and you do for certain conferences like the one that is taking 11 hours. Some people even shun away, would say, why should I interpret for 11 hours and I'm just volunteering? I hope you understand. But it's one thing that is encouraging for people to join, to make sure that they translate into their languages, so that everyone who's getting the information will be able to share the same information. That's one of the best mechanisms I can say, because it's easy for people to understand. And even, sorry to use, because I normally use my fraternity, because I'm part of it. Even the legal system, even in the world, if they were to be translated into their various languages that people can understand, then everyone will understand the kind of crimes that they've committed. I hope you are getting what I'm trying to. Even creative society, the means that they've used to disseminate information to individuals, to the public, it's a good one, because one, they're targeting social media, they're targeting TikTok, they're targeting Facebook, Twitter. Like everywhere you search, you find creative society, even on YouTube. And the other day I was surprised when I tried to search for myself. I found that, I'm here, okay. So it's one thing that is really encouraging for individuals to, because information is out there. Maybe another thing, but I've already seen creative society is doing any possible means, because I've already seen that people in quite a number of articles about creative society and its foundations, and in these fine topics that talking about climate change, and a lot of people have explained and have provided solutions on how to solve it. But it's just that in most countries it's very difficult for people to understand certain things unless someone is there to explain, unless someone is there to tell them, to say, here you have to do this, or there you have to do that. And certain countries, people don't even read. Reading culture is very bad. So when they are listening to someone who's telling them, more like having a conversation with them, it's very easy for them to get the information, because it's just going straight into their hearing. For themselves, it will take some time, because they'll just pack the books, or they'll just pack the articles or the materials. And listening, it's very, very easy for them to get the information. So maybe the other target can be just to target this same organization for them to get involved to whatever extent. Even if they will refuse, we will find means until they get involved and they support the movement, because this is the wonderful movement which is trying to save humanity. And I'm sure in one way or another, we all benefit by the end of the day. Climate change, like I just give you an example in Zambia and many parts of the world, we've seen that now there's global warming, and it's becoming every day because things are changing. The number of activities that are going on, and on the waters, activity in mining companies, activities that are going on like everywhere. People are trying to create things. It's like we are just beautiful home, which is Earth. But if we try by all means to work together as one, up with mechanisms that will help everyone, that thing will work and everyone will benefit and everyone will be happy by the end of the day.
Absolutely. Thank you for pointing out that we as people have already these means how we can change this very format of society by actually getting this media, to become these media who will talk and communicate it further. Because what we observe today in the consumer society, we are divided. We are divided by all means. Is it political views or religion or nationality or any other artificial factors? And what you're talking, and also, being interpreter, you're showing the way how to find the way to each other, how to communicate with each other. Because today in the 21st century, we have, for the first time indeed, the chance to connect globally and to hear each other globally, as it happened on the 7th of May. And this forum is just really breaking out any because we've never seen it before, and we've never done it before, such things. But what we observe, we managed it together only because each of you, friends, you just did a step, you made it. So Moeketsi, maybe you would like also to share your understanding how important it is really to take this action, to start with yourself, to get this information and, to connect with each other.
Instances of sharing the information, I realize if you decide to engage with the information themselves, most people do not see the necessity for that. So for some people, they really need some sort of stimuli, to see them go through the information. Yeah, like for instance, I'm in a country where we say, which I could say, the climate is mild in changes, not yet catastrophic, and to meet people and try share these cases of catastrophes that are happening in other countries, really do not find themselves relating that much with it, and it's one of the scary factor to realize in people that really this have to be information that we act on before any catastrophe take a bigger impact in what is already they are doing. So yeah, another thing is it's quite necessary for people to learn this information from their languages. Is more understandable and people tend to be more interested in such info as they understand it in their own mothers.
Yes, indeed, and the success to the information is the very step where people can decide by themselves. As you said, we live in a world where we do not trust, that much to the sources that we have in our daily news. And that's why the people who trust each other, because we are the ones who want to live. And that was the title of the forum, Global Crisis. We are people, we want to live. And today, millions die in wars, millions more die in, for example, from lack of water or food. Some die for lack, of health, and others disappear without any trace, or they're victims of human trafficking. And all of these deaths, many other unknown deaths, they could have been prevented, because there are a consequence of the consumerist format of present ordered things in our society, and actually we can deal with it. But we have a bigger problem, which is climate change and the disasters that are already coming to each of us. Just a week ago, we had in Germany a very strong and devastating tornado, which is really uncommon and unusual thing. This is a phenomenon that is unprecedented for Europe, and experts already telling us, we cannot deal with it. We are unprepared to this. But, I'm asking myself, where are these billions and trillions of dollars that have been paid in the last 40 years and still are being paid? So we are still paying for it. For the lies that we can influence climate by cutting the CO2 emissions. We learned from the forum that this is really a lie. And we are being robbed and we are being lied to and forced to accept it. So don't you see this?
Indeed, today we are slaves. And I can say this, we are slaves to the consumer format, but we are the people. And we are strong, but only when we are united all together. And this is our time to speak up and to change everything. And thankfully, the forum, Global Crisis, We Are People, We Want to, that worldwide unification is already happening and offered the solution how to peacefully deal with all the crises humanity is faced with today that can be solved only by building the creative society. But there's only one problem. Today, unfortunately, not everyone knows about the solution and all the information that has been provided at the forum. People are looking for the solution, and it is up to us, up to those people who already know about it, to share it and to spread the information about the creative society, because today our future depends on those who are of this vital solution for all of humanity. And today, as we draw to a close, I would like to thank you, our guests, for joining us today, for taking the time. I would like to give a big thank you to you for interpreting the forum so that people that tongue can understand it and have this information. Also, I would like to remind our viewers that the Creative Society platform is created for the unification of all people. So be part of it. It's very easy, creativesociety.com, and just click the Join Us button. You will see a red button on the page. And also, if you would like to participate in international discussion as the one you're watching right now, and you have watched the forum and understandings, or email at creativesociety.com, and we would love to have you as a guest.
And I would like also to thank you, dear friends, from my side. It was a really big pleasure. And in the conclusion, I would like to ask now our viewers, to you who are watching it right now, after watching this discussion, after seeing what is happening right behind your window, so what will you choose? So what will be your choice? To keep waking a world that is falling apart and continue to keep silent, or to act for the betterment of the whole society?